Okay, so good morning, everyone. I'm Steve Ferrace. I'm Vice President of Operations for Tri-County Suburban Realtors, and I'm also staff liaison for the commercial chapter here at Tri-County. And so one of the benefits that we've worked on to provide to members beginning, I guess, back in April was access to Crexi on a discount, a discounted basis for the pro membership, but also we've posted on our website a page that amalgamates all the listings of our members who have listings in Crexi. And remember, with Crexi, you can post listings at no cost. It is a free platform in that way. And so any of our members that have posted listings on Crexi, whether it's for sale or for lease, we do list on our website for that. And again, it's an exclusive benefit of our chapter members. So you can take a look here. It's on our website, tcsr.realtor. And then if you just hovered over our commercial chapter link here, even though I'm not able to do so, there we are. And you'll see that you can access it easily by just hovering over that and then going to the commercial real estate listings link there. So this is a page that's on our site for it. And again, you can see if you just go into this area here, you can see all the listings that are available for sale, again, from our members, as well as down below, also leasing as well. So again, it's a nice little benefit that we're providing exclusively to our chapter members. And of course, also that 35% discount that you get on the Crexi Pro subscription. And so that's why we're here today, to go a little bit more in depth in the Crexi Pro, what value it could provide to you going forward as a commercial practitioner. So that said, it's my pleasure to introduce Ashley Kovovich of Crexi. She is the regional director for Crexi and is willing to share some of her time today and answer some of your questions in regards to the Crexi Pro subscription. Just a quick note before I turn the program over to Ashley. We are using the webinar version of Crexi, meaning of Zoom, meaning that it is that your videos are automatically turned off. You are automatically muted. So if you do have questions, feel free to use the chat. There's also the Q&A. We're going to monitor both areas. Again, if you could use the chat at this point, it'd probably be easier. And then secondly, too, if you want to just raise your hand and you have a microphone that's live and active, we can unmute you and you can ask your question directly to Ashley that way as well. So a couple options for asking questions and being engaging with the session. So without further ado, let me turn it over to Ashley.
Thanks, Steve. I really appreciate being here with all of you. We ran one of these back in April, as Steve mentioned, when we first officially partnered with you all, but happy to do another one. As Steve mentioned, I want this to kind of be as interactive as possible. So please don't hesitate to write in the chat. You can raise your hand. We can take you off of mute as well. If you have any questions, I'll definitely get to anything that's in the chat. And we'll kind of go over a high level overview of what Crexi has to offer in that pro version. So, we do have the basic version, which we're pulling in all of your listings. So please definitely add them. It's definitely going to get a lot of exposure. I'll go over the pro platform on a 30,000 foot overview. But right now in the chat, I'm going to put my contact information in case anyone does have to hop off, or they want any more information, they want to connect on a one-on-one afterwards and kind of do a little bit more specific about your business, your firm, your brokerage, your area. I'm totally happy to do that. So I've just popped my information in the chat, but I'm excited to get started here. So I'm going to share my screen. And what we'll be doing today, again, is that high-level overview of Crexi. So I'm going to kind of start right now on just where we were kind of founded. So some of you on the call are probably very familiar with Crexi. Some of you might be your first introduction. So from a high-level 30,000 foot overview, Crexi was founded 6 years ago, basically out of the frustration in the market. We are built by brokers for brokers. So 90% of my colleagues sat in your shoes today and they understand, what it takes to get business done and how we can potentially help do that. So first, we created Crexi, which is a completely open marketplace. So the important thing here to note is that it's never going to cost you anything just to list your property, and it's never going to cost you anything just to search on Crexi. So very important, we're never going to put a paywall between a buyer and the tenant and the inventory. We want you all to search as much as possible, have access to all of the properties. We're never going to hide any listings, and brokers can come on and freely post their deals onto Crexi. We have for sale, as you can see. We'll go through some of these search functionalities on the front end, so you can see how to use filters, how to save searches, how to get more detail on specific properties. We can also do that for lease. We also have an auction platform. So if anyone is interested, they have a potential client that does want to go through an auction, definitely connect with me after. Right now, we just won the largest auction deal to ever be transacted online. Super exciting. And that's going to go live in November. So if you're interested in auction, want to chat with me after, I'm definitely happy to answer any questions. And then we have sales data and comps, which we'll go into as well. We'll go into more of our insights. So as a general agenda, we'll do some searching. We'll go into listings and showcase what our pro platform is going to be able to do for you by bringing in more buyers and tenants. Lastly, we'll go into some of that data and comps. And then we can obviously discuss any, questions throughout. Now, to get it all out there, there's probably a question on a lot of your minds. Steve mentioned that you do get a 35% off discount. So we do have one flat rate on a monthly fee. It's $400 a month. That's unlimited sale and lease deals. That's all access to comps, etc. Everything that we're going to go over today. With that 35% off discount, it's only $260 for anyone that's a member of Tri-County. And then as a thank you all for attending the webinar, if you do want to sign up with me today, this week, we're offering your first month free, so you won't pay anything into November. With all those logistics out of the way, I will go ahead and do a broad search here. So I'm going to just do a search on Pennsylvania. I'll start off really high, and then we can kind of drill in and narrow down to you guys, obviously. So this is very kind of a clean outlook on everything. We're not terribly reinventing the wheel in terms of searching. You're going to have your map view on this side. You're going to have your tile view over here. I can drill into any of these bubbles. I can draw a radius. I can go into specific counties, obviously look any more granularly at the actual location. Additionally, I can use any of these filters. So if you are on the buy side, or if you are looking for, a client who maybe wants to look for, land or an industrial property or an office, for lease, all we do is we come into, these property types. We can search by price and cap rate, by units, keys, beds for hospitals as an example, lease type, tenancy or vacant, any class, maybe A office buildings. You want to look in opportunity zones. All of this you'll be able to do. You can save these searches. So if you want to know what's new to market, just want to keep a pulse on the inventory, I can help you set up save searches in a one-on-one, or you can go through this process. Now, just keeping this high level, I'll come more into our area here and zoom in. As you see, I'm zooming in, everything is changing. And then on our pro side, what's really helpful is not just the listings for our agents, but also the insights. Now, a lot of my folks really say this is beneficial because they can get very granular when looking at these insights. So I can go block by block in Philly, right? Philly is not created equal. There's some parts that are definitely going to be very different than others. So I can drill in, and as I continue to do so, my left-hand side is going to change in terms of asking price, price per square foot, average cap rate, demographics, etc. And I can keep going into here. So this is all available for you in these insights. Everything is exportable. You can share this via email. You can send this to yourself, anything that you'd like. And additionally, more on that data side is we're going to have all of these overlays. So any of the population, median income, traffic count has been really huge. Obviously, people, when they're selling or leasing their deals, they want to know, how populated an area is. So we can just quickly overlay this traffic count. Green is going to be higher, or excuse me, red is going to be higher. Green is going to be less. I can just move around the map here. So I'm just going to stop. Sometimes there are questions on, overlays or insights or anything here. Before I actually go into the properties, I'll just pause to check the chat to see if there are any questions. If not, no worries. It's totally fine. But I will just take a minute here to check this.
And again, remember, if you have any questions too, you could also raise your hand and we can unmute you as well.
Perfect. Easy enough. Okay. So we'll come back into this results page and we'll actually look at all of the properties that are here. So one of the first benefits of Pro, and again, I don't have an asset up, so I'm going to see a lot of different asset types in the area that I'm zoomed in on. But one of the benefits of our Pro platform is that all of our Pro users are going to come up towards the top of all of the searches. So again, this was a generic search that I was doing, but all of our Pro users are even going to come up towards the top. So we can see Ken and Corey of Rittenhouse Advisors. They have their little Pro badge here. It's a student housing near Temple. And then this is what your property will look like. So any specific details that you want to put on that are coming from the flyer or the offering memorandum, we will pull in here. We also have a valuation calculator for people to look at. We'll have a price history in terms of property history and tax history. And then from a search perspective, we'll give some similar properties here. Now from the actual platform page, you can put any photos, you can put any videos, offering memorandums, of course, anything that you want to put on here, you totally can. Now, from a buyer's perspective, right, because this is for sale, I can go ahead and request information and send a bit of information directly to the broker. I can go ahead and click on this phone number to call. And I can also view these folks' profiles. So a big tip that I'm going to tell you guys today is if you haven't logged on to Crexi, even though we are pulling all your deals from Tri-County, I can help you out on this, but I would fill out your broker profile. So Ken has a nice photo. He has a bio, active listings, as well as closed transactions. Now, we don't have to disclose the price, obviously, totally fine for undisclosed. We don't require any of that information when it does close. You can provide it if you do like. And the reason brokers will provide it is this is almost being used as a brag sheet. So maybe you want to gain a new listing. You can actually send this out to a seller and say, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, this is everything that I currently have on the market. This is just a page specifically for me. This is everything that I've, kind of closed as well. And then this is a little bit about me. Right. So this is kind of your page. A lot of sellers will also come to Crexi looking for representation. So they will actually peruse this broker profile, maybe looking for a multifamily specialist or an office specialist, et cetera. So highly recommend logging into Crexi and kind of, updating this if you haven't. And then, of course, if you want me to help you walk through it, more than happy to do so for you. Now, coming back onto that listing, as if I'm a buyer and I wanted to take any buy action on this listing. So I wanted to print this page. I wanted to share this property. I wanted to save this property. So I want to know if there's a price reduction or if there's anything else that's being updated. If I want to download the offering memorandum or submit an LOI, I'm going to have to create an account. It's a very non-invasive process. We can pull information from Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter. We ask for first name, last name, email, and phone number as requirements. Anyone else can fill out additional information. Reason we do that is so that we can give that information back to you on the pro side. So if anyone is interested in the property as a pro user, you're going to get an alert and a notification that, Ashley is now interested in your property. Now you'd have all my information and what I actually did on the property itself. One of the biggest things that you can do, and we actually just surpassed $4 billion in letters of intent directly through the platform last month, is go ahead and submit an LOI. So we want to make the process from start to close for you guys as easy as possible. So if I come in here and I want to go through all of this bit, I can put in all of this information. Don't worry, Ken is not going to get this as an offer. But I can give offer highlights. I can add proof of funds. I can do anything about my investor information, my background, review this and complete this. And obviously as a broker, you would get all of that information. Our whole goal is to get you in front of a direct buyer, speed up that transaction, have someone be able to submit or call you directly, even look at any due diligence. So if you have rent rolls, if you have environmental information, if you have anything that you want to put on here, again, so you don't have to email it to a person back and forth. You can lock it up behind a confidentiality agreement. That is a pro feature. You can use ours or you can use one of your own, but you'll have that on record, and then you can kind of unlock some of that information. So again, we want to make it as easy as possible for everyone to transact business. So before I get to some of the things on how you can see your leads and how you can see that information, I will do another pause just in case anyone has any questions. Again, you can raise your hand, we can take you off mute, or you can just throw some things in the chat. Oh, wait 1 second, just in case anyone is typing. But pretty straightforward on our search side. Everything that is offered to you, I'm sure everyone has seen some of this. So we'll get going into my listings. So up here at the top, if I click on my listings, this is where everything is going to be housed. So when you all log into your account, it will probably look a little bit different as I am technically a pro user on here. So I'm going to come into this multifamily property. It's in the Philly area. So you guys will probably see something similar to this if you have logged in before. If this is completely new, this is what it looks like. So you'll have an overview of page views, visitors, followers, how many people have opened up a flyer or an offering memorandum. Now, this is really big. So there's 82 people that have actually saved this property. Now you can see that my mouse is hyperlinked. So these are definitely people that I'm going to want to know. If someone saves my property, what I would do on my settings is I would get an email or a text message so that I immediately know that person. So that with one click of a button, I can call and say, hey, Steve, I noticed that you just saved this property. Is there anything else that I can help you out with? Do you need any additional information? What exactly are you looking for? That's a pretty interested buyer. So those types of things we can always set up, on your account, but this is definitely more of interested leads. Now, if we go on to this lead activity, this is almost like a LinkedIn or Facebook news feed. It's going to be minute by minute, hour by hour update on who is looking at the property. So you can see an hour ago, someone came on, Hugo has a 4.6 rating. So you'll see this is our lead score. So this is all done by Crexi. So you can see the property interest is 3 out of 5. So this person just visited the page, right? Didn't do any other buy action, didn't save the property, didn't submit an LOI, right? But the property relevance is very high. So it's also looking at a lot of multifamilies. Profile completion, Hugo has a lot of details in his profile. And he's also very active on Crexi. So he comes back to Crexi a lot. And when he is on Crexi, he's searching a lot. So that's the visits and the activity. So in your leads, which I'll show you how to get to all of them, you can actually filter by lead score. So maybe we determine this as a hot lead, and you do as well. So you can give your own rating as 5 out of 5, which I'll show you in a moment. So I can open up Hugo here and I can look at all of this information. So we said that his profile completion was a 5 out of 5, right? He's a principal, so identifies as someone who is in the market to transact business. We have phone number, email, located in Montreal, and this property is in Philly. That's huge. So it's just a big testament to our reach as Crexi and what kind of users that we're bringing in. Looks like he has funds, so funds and assets under management, interested in financing, not going through a 1031. So you can see, kind of information here. And then also what he's looked at. So what other properties that I've had, even up to 3 years ago. So I can see what else this person might be interested in. So almost act like your CRM light. So you can take notes on this person. What exactly are they looking for? You can create your own buyer profile. The notes will be date and time stamped, so just like a text message. So even if you spoke with him 3 years ago, now comes back to a property or something like that, you have all of those notes saved. You can set a reminder. Maybe you gave him a call this morning after he looked at this property, opened up the flyer. Maybe he wants you to call you back in 2 weeks. Go ahead, set that. You can also add anyone on your team. Maybe you have a co-broker, maybe you have a junior broker, maybe you want to put your admin on there. You can put that reminder in as well. So pretty good stuff. We can do this for anyone else that's on here. All of this will come up. You can see funds, assets under management, kind of get that almost little V card for all of these folks. Now, for me, I love technology, but I personally still am kind of an Excel girl. So I will want to download this lead report fully. And just mind you, these are all pro features. So on the basic side, you will still see some of this information. It just won't be as detailed. So you'll see Hugo G as an example, and the rest of that contact information will be locked, but you'll see the activity on there. You'll be able to message straight through the platform. It's kind of like a LinkedIn Messenger. They'll have to come back onto Crexi to kind of answer, but this is all the pro side of the feature. Now, for purposes of today, I'm going to download this entire lead report, but what I would also have and set up in everyone's account is just this to be sent to them either daily or weekly at a certain time, and we can just email that straight to you. So in terms of downloading this here, this will be the lead report. It'll be in Excel. It'll be broker branded. It will have the actual address on there as well. So once this opens up, we'll be able to see all of this, and you can manipulate this as much or as little as you want. So all I have to do is click on enable editing. And then right here, this is every single person, right? We downloaded everything. But if I just want to go through and click on, maybe the people that have been a little more interested, right? Printed the page, requested info, saved my property, clicked on my phone number. I'll be able to see these folks here. And maybe this is my hot leads for the day. I have all of their emails. I can add them to my CRM, or I can create my own CRM. You can save this. You can share this out, anything that you'd like. Now, not only do my brokers say that this is very helpful to obviously gain interest and close deals faster, right? But they've also used this as a seller report. So some sellers want to hear from you every hour on the hour, and some don't want to hear from you until you have an offer, right? Most are in between. So what a lot of folks will do is they'll download this every 2 weeks. They'll take out the phone numbers and emails because your seller doesn't need that. And then they'll send it out. Say, hey, Mr. and Mrs. Seller, this is everything that's happened on the property over the past 2 weeks. I also can't tell you how many brokers have actually gained new listings from this. There's a lot of sellers on our platform. As I was saying, there's a lot of sellers looking for representation, looking through that buyer profile, but also looking for similar properties in the area that they want to see. What are the comps on this? What is this selling for? Right. And kind of just playing around. So if brokers are calling up these folks, they might know, hey, this actually is an owner of a property. They go to a listing meeting. They're very impressed that the broker proactively reached out to them and they gain a new listing, right? And then they can start marketing them because they're confident that they're going to do the same exact thing on their property that they were just doing on, this one, let's say. So a lot of different ways that you all can use this lead report. And we are the only company out there right now that is giving you this level of detail in an Excel spreadsheet for all of your leads. So I'll pause here. I will go into our marketing campaigns and things that we're going to do for the deal as well. But again, I'll just take a couple of seconds, see if there are any questions.
Actually, I noticed that question that hasn't come up, but I'm sure it may be in some people's minds. The difference between getting a Crexi Pro subscription versus, of course, CoStar being, always one of the bigger, competitors. And again, I don't want to get into much of CoStar, but we know that, so the structure of CoStar is where, the office has to account for the agents in the office. But with Crexi Pro, is it true that it's just individually based? It's, if you just want to have Crexi Pro for yourself, the rest of the office doesn't have to, jump on board at the same time, correct?
Correct. Absolutely, Steve. So, obviously being built by brokers, we kind of understood that. And sometimes that was frustrating for some folks. So, everyone is, running their own business, right? 1099, things like that. You are your own brand. So we don't require everyone at an office or at a firm to be a part of Crexi. So we can go individual broker by broker. If you think it's beneficial for you, you obviously can sign up. We do volume-based discounts. So if you do run an office and there are multiple people in the office that, kind of want to come on board, our partnership with you guys is a really, really good discount in terms of that 35%. So I don't know if it's going to go down any more than that. But if someone did want to sign up 15 accounts, we can maybe work out something on that, but it's absolutely individual. We don't require everyone, at the office or everyone with a license, so to speak, to have an account.
Okay, terrific. Thanks for confirming it.
Of course. Absolutely. Great question. Perfect. And then I will go into our marketing campaigns right now, but as you can see on the bottom here, they will also be exportable. So any marketing campaigns that you send, any marketing campaigns that we send on your behalf, you will see all of the details, etc., right here. Now, with that said, I'll hop back into this dashboard. So not only are we going to list your deals on Crexi on this free side, what we're actually going to do is we're going to market them out for you as well. So on the right-hand side under this marketing reach, we're actually going to send out your deals to people that have been searching for similar properties, right? So at Crexi, we like to say that we're a technology company first, operating in commercial real estate. So anyone order anything off of Amazon or watch like a Hulu or Netflix or things like that, right? They all are starting to understand your preferences. So if you go onto Amazon and you're looking for a sleeping bag, right? You purchase a sleeping bag. They might say, oh, hey, you might want a camping tent or this camping gear. They might think that you're going on a camping trip, right? So try to feed you all of these things. You're going to get it in emails. It's going to follow you around the internet to other sites, probably pop up on an Instagram ad or something like that for you, right? We're doing the exact same thing. So we understand what kind of properties people are looking for, what location, what cap rate, what price point. And then we're almost going to match make your deal. So we're going to serve those kind of people your deal if it matches what they have been searching. So as an example, you'll see all of these right here. We can click into any one of these. These are a lot of KWs, kind of commercial deals here. You can send as many emails as you want through Crexi site on your own. And then again, we will supplement that for you as well. And we will send those emails on a local, on a national, and on a regional scale. Obviously, if it fits, right? If it's an office building, for lease, probably not going to send that out on a national scale. It's probably going to be very hyper regional. With that said, you will have a customer success manager if you are on our pro program. So it's going to be a one-to-one contact that if you have a new listing and you really want to push out some marketing for, you can let us know and we'll get that deal out on some email blasts. If you have a deal that's just coming, about to come off of exclusivity, you want to see, hey, is there anything else that I can get? We can push that out as well. So it's always just that constant communication with your customer success rep, and we'll make sure that we kind of give the deals that are priority to you, out to our buyer database. Now, all of this obviously is on our pro platform. Of course, you can message any of these leads as well on our basic side. Still going to get that value. Still going to be able to send all of those email blasts yourself on our basic and on our pro side. So if I just want to send out an email to maybe some of my contacts, right, I can go ahead and upload a CSV. Maybe I have some multifamily folks or some office folks or land, whatever my property is. I can enter those emails. I can upload the list as a CSV. We don't have any access to that. So all of your contacts are yours. You can change any of the email settings, obviously subject, etc. We will have this design built for you. But if you want to upload your design, change the button, you can select up to 12 properties at the same time. And then we'll optimize this for mobile as well. So a lot of our folks will probably send these things through like a Constant Contact or a MailChimp, and they actually just start sending it straight through Crexi because they're able to, and it's kind of a cost save for them. So leaving this email, I do want to come into where we can go to all of our contacts. So you can send out your own emails. And then this is where in one fell swoop, I can contact my entire database of leads that have interacted with any of my deals in Crexi. So obviously I have a lot of contacts in here. I have over 75 properties that I've been tagged on. So almost 20,000 leads. That's just on the sales side. The lease side will mimic the same thing. But again, this is almost that CRM light as we were talking about. So on the property version, we were able to go someone one by one. On our contacts version, I can go onto a specific property. I can go into specific level of interest on all of the properties. Maybe I just want principals. I can go ahead and click that. And then in one fell swoop, I can go ahead and contact all of these leads. Again, I can redefine it here, but maybe there is a call for offers on a certain property. So I want to cast a really wide net. Anyone that's ever visited, I want to, kind of update them on that. If I have a new property that's to market, anyone that has interacted with any of my deals, I want them to know. I can go ahead and send it. I can send the property page. I can add files. And in one click of a button, I can technically email almost 20,000 people. Most of the time I won't want to do that, but I want to make it a little more targeted, but I could have the opportunity to do so if I so wish. So that's kind of a lot. We went over obviously the search capabilities. We went over the tracking. We went over the marketing, the CRM capabilities in terms of these contacts. And then the last thing that I do want to go over is our comps. So we do have nationwide comps. We have over 40 million property records, over 13 million sales comps. Now this is going to mimic the search that I had just done. So kind of in a Philly area, if I want to zoom out again, it's all that map view. I can go ahead and do that. Same exact filters from that search feature. So if I do want to look into a specific asset type or price point or time period, right? I just want less than 2 years, right? That's pretty much what you guys want to look at. And then I'll open that up here. I can export any of these if I'd like to. I can look at the different ways I can customize the table, how I want to look, etc. Or I can look at it just like the property page on the searches, right? So I see advanced auto parks, multifamily on Walker Street, new construction triplex. And then this is going to be the same exact kind of property view as we saw before. Now, probably a question on everyone's mind is how do we get our comps? So as you know, coming from the brokerage community, we want to make sure that these comps are verified for you all, right? That's very, very important to us. So we actually pull in comps from a third party. It is a competitor to CoreLogic. A comp is verified twice before it even hits our database. So we're pulling in city county records, we're pulling in tax assessors information, we're pulling in all of that through that third party. We're not going to ask you, what you sold or leased a deal for. We're not going to call you up in the middle of dinner or anything like that. Even if you close a deal on Crexi, you do not have to disclose the price. We will pull everything in from public records and again, verify it so that you guys have that information. Now, same exact thing as we were looking on that search side, you'll be able to see insights. So on that search side, it's more what are things going for? As I'm moving in and zooming around the map here, this is going to be what are things sold for? And we're going to be able to see the price change here. Same exact thing. Same exact thing on the overlays as well. You'll see that. And then additionally, what a lot of people love on this is we can zoom in and get very granular, right? Obviously. Moving in, this is all going to change. But as I'm getting closer here, I can actually get into parcel level detail. So you'll see this. I can click on any of these parcels. I can click on any of that. I'll be able to get ownership information. Anything that we specifically have in terms of that, we will let you know. Any phone numbers, anything like that we do have, we will put in here. But you'll be able to go very, very granular into what all of this looks like. So again, I'm going to pause and see if anyone has any questions. Kind of a quick overview on comps. I'm more than happy to do, any additional information. I just clicked on one of these. This is from public records. So I'm able to see, property history, tax history, mortgage information, any ownership data will also be here. But you can go from a parcel level, or you can go specifically just on our comps as well. So here we see ownership. I can go ahead and click on this, get some more information, mortgage, etc. And then I can see some similar comps. Same exact as I was able to see some similar properties on this listing side. Sold by, sold to. Doesn't look like any questions are coming in about comps specifically. So that kind of wraps up everything about what I kind of wanted to go over today. So in summary, Crexi is always going to be that open marketplace. You can search for free, you can list for free, you can interact with some folks, obviously on that free side, just through those messaging. On the pro side, you'll get higher tile placement, which actually will relate to about 6 to 8 times more leads. You'll get all of that lead and contact information. You'll get our proactive marketing that we're doing. And then obviously all of the data, the intelligence, the comps as well. Again, it's $260 a month on that 35% off discount. And if anyone wants to leave their information in the chat, if anyone wants to contact me directly, more than happy to connect with you, do more of an individual demonstration. And then if you do sign up this week, I'm happy to offer that first month free, so you won't pay anything until November.
Ashley, just a quick question. I mean,
Of course.
again, just another question on my end.
Yeah.
It's been mentioned previously that maybe there has been some kind of preliminary discussions between Crexi and our MLS that serves our area, Bright MLS. Any thoughts or updates on perhaps those conversations? I mean, ideally, again, a lot of our members are using Bright for residential use as well as, of course, as commercial, and any update basically.
Yeah, so those conversations are going to take a while. So we've had conversations with Bright and Spark and different MLSs because we do want to offer, obviously, as you all are updating the MLS, if we could have a direct API feed, which is the goal between the systems. So as soon as you put a commercial deal on, it will push over to Crexi. Those conversations are going well. It just will take some time. So for any update, is they're positive, but nothing's in the works yet. Yeah, I do know actually our Chief Product Officer, Hans Koo, a brilliant man, but he's been working with Bright actually on kind of mapping some of the fields for commercial and kind of how like classifications and things like that. And he does that on his own time. So that is, in hopes for us to obviously be able to map over easier for an API. But I know that's one of the things that like an MLS kind of struggles with sometimes is, how do we classify certain things on commercial? So he's been doing a lot of work there. So it has been positive conversations, but it'll just take probably a couple more months.
Yeah, no, again, again, I'm sure some of the folks on the call today were probably curious about that on their end. So the question did come in, of course, through the chat. So again, it's just about repeating the cost of the Pro version.
Oh, yes, absolutely. So for any member of Tri-County, it's a 35% off discount. So it's $260 per month. And that's unlimited sale and lease deals. No need to rotate anything out. You'll get everything that you saw today.
So in that $260 then includes the 35% discount, correct?
Correct. Yep, correct. Okay. So it's typically $400 on a monthly basis. The 35% off gets down to $260.
Okay, terrific. Any final questions from any folks? Again, you can always use the raise hand feature and we can unmute you, or if you want to drop something in the chat, we can look at it real quick. Otherwise, we'll be saying goodbye.
And if anyone wants to put their contact information in the chat, I'm more than happy to, reach out, do more of a one-on-one specific demo or answer any questions that you do have if you don't want to ask them now.
Okay, terrific. And again, we did record today's session, so certainly we'll get that posted on our website, and we'll include Ashley's contact information with any kind of additional notice about the recording. Again, in case you want to reach out to her about that. Again, remember too, if you do sign up in the next few days or so, you can get a full month's worth free ahead of the charges going into effect in November. So keep that in mind. Okay, don't see any other questions. Thank you, Michael, for the nice information there. Nice comment. Certainly appreciate it. And Ashley, thank you so much for your time today and great information. Certainly appreciate again you extending some of that great information about the subscription. And me and Ashley talked a little bit earlier. We're looking forward to perhaps having another session that is a little bit more data specific, content specific on what trends are going on in our region in December. So stay tuned for some more information about that. And again, remember too, it's easy and free to get just your listings up on Crexi in the first place. So definitely take advantage of that just as an additional platform to get the word out.
Absolutely. I'm excited for that in December. And thank you all again. Thank you so much, Steve, for having me. And thanks for everyone that joined. Look forward to continuing to work with you all.
Okay. Thank you, Ashley. Have a great day. And thanks everyone for joining on. Have a good one.
Bye-bye.
Bye.